Welcome in, everybody, to Leading Off here on Fantasy Pros, brought to you by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. It's me, Joey P. Joe Pizzapia, taking you through the world of Major League Baseball, the recap of last night, the look ahead to today's games, and of course, to do it with me, my good pal Scott Bogman. Boggs, welcome back to the show. I know it's been about a week since we've had you on, but there's been a little change around these parts in terms of that home run board. I just want you to know there's a new sheriff in town. Well, no, I'm not the new sheriff yet, but I'm in the discussion for deputy. I'm on the board. Another dinger from Byron Buxton last night for me. Your boy, the Welsh, wouldn't come with me. So let that be a warning to you. Don't cross me on the show today, Box.
I see. Just so everyone knows, Joe was bragging about this before the show started. He had to show me the board and show me that he was physically on it before the show started. Just, hey, welcome back. Look at this. Look, I'm on this board now. So
I was on the board yesterday.
Very excited.
Also, what board? I don't even know what board you're talking about. You mean this board? Oh, I'm sorry. This board right here. Is this the board? Oh, good times. Good times. More on that later. But let's get to the baseball.
No one brags about sixth place like a Mets fan. So,
that's a good one. That was nice. Well done. You got the slow clap on that one.
I was woken up early today, so I'm not in the greatest mood. So
I hope it wasn't my text about us being up in that slow draft.
Not. No, you're kidding me. My phone is silent. It's never going to be my phone.
That's what I figured. So hopefully, I assume it's some dead animal out there in Texas that's just like at your doorstep, just going making weird dead animal sounds. I imagine that's what it is. I had a bunny in my pool this morning. True story. I had to save a baby bunny out of my pool. So I'm something of a hero. Just want you to know what you're doing.
And a hero can save us. His name is Joey P.
Yeah, baby. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. I want to see all the peanuts and the Cracker Jacks in the comments after this one. Let's go. All right, so let's get after it. And let's start here with Byron Buxton hitting the home run for the Twins as they top the Mariners. Drury hit a 3-run homer to help the Reds over the Diamondbacks. Juan Soto pulled as a precaution after hurting his knee, so that's something to keep an eye on. Darvish continues to be great against his old team, the Cubs. 8 innings for him. Ozzie Albies, though, this is the bad part right here. This is the issue because Albies right now going to be out with the fractured foot for a while. It's weird because it happened and he fell down and everyone's like, "What's going on?" And he kind of walked off. But the fractured foot, this is a problem. Let me tell you, I don't know what's going on here.
I'm assuming that this happened before this at bat, and it probably just finally buckled him when he tried to push off of it. So not a great scenario. I believe they said Orlando Arcia will be taking over for him. So I guess that's our guy for a little bit. Dude's already got 8 homers, so not a terrible replacement, but not Albies. Albies hasn't been playing up to snuff this year anyway. So I'm wondering if if this has been lingering for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it might be. It's just the panic mode, and I got questions already. People this morning were saying, I've been offered this guy, for one of my stud players, and because I lost Albies. I'm like, no, you don't continue to lose or trade off or get rid of great. You don't trade Jordan Alvarez to go get Owen Miller. You don't do that kind of trade. That's not the kind of trade you make. No, it's true, because people panic. Like, well, I got all these good players. I'm going to go make this. No, you don't do that. You just play the waiver wire. You hope for the best. Yeah. And maybe if you can make a smart trade that makes sense for both parties, you do that. But don't start deteriorating your strength of your roster in order to just go ahead and, and somehow at some point, think that that's going to lead you in the right path. You lost a player. It sucks. You're going to have to deal with it. But by continuing to disintegrate the rest of the good parts on your roster, that's not the way out of this problem.
Everybody hits these bumps. It's baseball.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I got a rotation in my home league right now. Freddie Peralta, IL. Joe Ryan just came back from the IL. DeGrom, IL. Scherzer, IL. I mean, they're all on the IL. I have the best rotation
like my TGFBI roster. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Also, the Braves, 12 straight wins. So they are on fire right now.
There are a couple teams that are on fire, Joe.
They are.
I mean, this squad, the Phillies, after firing Girardi, have been great. I mean, so the East getting a little closer there. Getting a little tighter, Joey.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is there. And obviously, when we're looking at the Braves, I mean, their odds to make the playoffs right now, I got to check that out and what that is, because I still think it's going to be tough for them to win the division over a long period. And the Albies injury is going to hurt them defensively and offensively. Let's make no mistakes
For
about that.
sure.
But this is, when the Mets started losing players, I was very vocal about this on the show, and I know you were probably in agreement with it also, which is this is the time to start looking at the Braves. The time to start looking at the Braves as soon as the Mets had injuries, and the Braves, to their credit, have taken complete, ownership of the moment. Right now, to make the playoffs, they're at minus 360, so that's no good. To the win total over under, this one's okay, 91.5. The over is minus 110, the under minus 114. I think the over at one. I mean, look, they're going to get Soroka back soon too. They
Right.
have the pieces to make a trade. To win the pennant plus 700, that's still a tough sell for me. But I think the best number on the board right now is that win total, Boggs. What do you think of the 91.5? You go over or under on that?
You know what? I think it's fine to go over on that. I just don't know if that pays enough. That's not the bet I want to make right now. Straight, because that's basically a straight bet. So that's okay. But, 91 games is a lot of games. And yes, they're on a nice hot streak right now. But that's gonna cool off too. They'll get better with these injuries, but that stuff's gonna cool off. So I would say that I'm not making that bet. There's a couple bets. Welsh and I were going over some AL MVP bets yesterday. So that's where I want to bet. I want to bet on Shohei because, Judge is going crazy right now.
And that's exactly the argument. I actually cashed out some of my Shohei shares, put them into Judge because I'm waiting for the Ohtani number to get bigger so they can investigate in Ohtani and see where that goes. That's exactly my plan. I said it on Sunday on the show, on the TV. I said it here, I think on Friday, a big spiel about how to bet MVP and how to approach it now. And I'll tell you what, the Cardinals are streaking too, and Goldschmidt just continues to look great. I think should be considered a front runner right now, even though he's not. Also, Jake Berger, day-to-day with a bruised hand. Josiah Gray scratched from the start after the rain delay, so he's going to pitch today. Dylan Carlson, also speaking of the Cardinals, he's starting to look a little bit better. So a little time off seems to have done him some good. He had a big hit last night and seems to be starting to pick things up again. Do you think he's probably on the waiver wire in a lot of leagues? I would imagine I would pick him up if he was out there, or I'd make a trade if somebody he's just rotting away on someone's bench.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Carlson's one of those guys that, if he gets bad, he's not a guy that you can't drop, but he's a guy that you probably shouldn't drop. So when he gets dropped, then yeah, you're like, all right, I'm just gonna at least keep him on like your watch list or whatever. Looks like he is 42% rostered in Yahoo leagues right now. So he is available in more than 50% of the league. So if he's around and you got a struggling player, maybe you just stuck Ozzy Albies on the IL, go get him for sure.
Yeah, look, I mean, I know Dylan Carlson's going to be on the waiver wire video this week now officially. 40%, that's kind of ridiculous at this point. Hoskins also walks off the Phils in the 10th there, so that's 10th win. Actually, walks them off to their 10th win in 11 games. That's what I meant to say.
He said that's the first time that he's had a walk-off hit before. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's a little surprising for a guy with that much power and stuff, but he said it was great. He was thrilled to get it. So happy for Hoskins. Hoskins will come up later in the show too. So
it's funny. We had a fun little conversation about when a team fires a manager, that's the time to start investing in that team a little bit because there's always that immediate bounce. It doesn't usually last long. Sometimes it does. It's happened before. I remember it was
games
the
at least
Marlins.
Here.
Yeah, but look at the Marlins too. Back in the day, when I forgot who they fired. They brought in Jack McKeon, and then they ended up going to the World Series that year.
Yeah.
And they ended up beating the Yankees. So I mean, it does happen, but usually it's at least a minimal bounce.
Was that 02 20 years ago, Joe?
I think it was 03. 02 was the Angels, if memory serves. If
you're right. You're right.
So 03
that was John Lackey. John Lackey winning World Series.
That was when the Welsh was playing, right? When the Welsh was pitching for the Angels. That's when that was.
Oh, all right, man, he hates that so
let's get to some of the injuries. Actually, some good news. Joe Ryan's gonna be back, rejoining the rotation today. More on him later to come, because I do believe there's opportunity here with him because he has looked really good in the rehab start. So I don't know how limited, quote unquote, he's going to be necessarily. Jack Flaherty Is going to be starting Wednesday for the Cardinals against the Pirates. So if you have him, you might want to activate him also. Another big piece. I mean, this is like getting a pitcher in a trade, basically, for the Cardinals right now. This is huge.
For sure.
Jonathan India activated from the IL yesterday. Matthew Boyd cut his BP session short due to a sore elbow, so that's not good for him. But Jack Flaherty, this is one to talk about, Boggs. I mean, he could be really huge for this rotation if you're getting the good Jack Flaherty. The question is, are we getting the good Jack Flaherty? We don't know quite yet.
I mean, you gotta imagine we're getting the good one because they held him out until the middle of June. So you gotta imagine that they're not going to bring him back unless he looks right. He had, I believe, 17 rehab starts. So I think he's going to come back and be just fine. So I'm excited to see what Flaherty's got. You know, I was telling you about my TGFBI team earlier. It's the whole staff. I had DeGrom was my first pick. Then I had Jack Flaherty late because he's a little banged up. But before that, I had Chris Sale too. So, you know, it's not surprising that I believe I'm in 13th place in my TGFBI league. But if I start to get some of these guys back in the next month, maybe I can make a little headway. I know I'm not going to win, but maybe I can, you know, at least be not embarrassing. You know, over the middle of the pack would be great if I could get there.
That would be great. We certainly love that. I'm sorry for the Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. We're having some kind of StreamYard issue where I can't actually bring your comments onto the screen, but now I've got it up on YouTube so I can see Team Rando out there. So don't worry about it. It's all good. I got you guys. And no, I did not mute the word Rando for the day, although it is an idea in the future. No doubt about that. One thing I do love besides the Randos is Omaha Steaks, baby. Oh, Bogman, you're a steak guy. I know you are. I don't know if you've broken into your steak box yet.
Not
I have.
yet.
There's still plenty of things out there. So once again, you are now just days away here from Father's Day. It is an extraordinary opportunity. I'm telling you, you get $99 for that Dads Want Steaks package. You purchase that, even if you're the dad for yourself. Get it for yourself, get it for your dad, get it for someone else who's a dad, or just get it just because it's a good deal. If you use that promo code leading off, when you go into the search bar, go to omahasteaks.com. In the search bar, type in leading off. It's going to take you right to the landing page where you can get the 16 mouth-watering entrees and 8 free steak burgers on us when you use that code leading off in the search bar. Do it. I'm telling you, you get the burgers, you get the Franks, you get the bacon wrap fillets, you get the air chilled boneless chicken breast. I mean, it's fantastic. And of course, the apple caramel tartlets for dessert. Never forget about dessert. Bogman, right? Always
I mean, I haven't had lunch yet, dude. You're making me hungry. I'm really hungry.
I'm starving. I'm starving right now. I could go for dessert right now. But again, the Dads Want Steaks package at omahasteaks.com. Go get it. Start grilling. That's the place to be. Omaha Steaks is the highest quality. You know, everything comes in that fantastic big giant box with the dry ice. And you don't have to use it all at once, or you can. Whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you happy. But I'm telling you right now, Omaha Steaks will make you happy. So go there, use that promotional code leading off in the search bar, and get your grill on. Bogman, can we talk about this? Steven Strasbourg came back to make a start. Steven Strasbourg is back on the IL. So that did not take very long. I told everybody, take him off your draft boards. Thoracic outlet syndrome is practically a baseball death sentence. I mean, everybody from Jaime Garcia to Matt Harvey to everybody that's ever had it.
I think Syndergaard.
I can go on and on.
Syndergaard isn't the same guy, but he at least came back and is still a major league.
Did he have thoracic outlet syndrome?
I thought he did. Maybe I'm mixing him up with somebody else. I'm not.
But like somebody a couple years ago on Fangraphs did a whole list of the guys, and it's brutal. It's like Luke Hochevar, like all these guys that were some really good names on this list that once upon a time were had expectations.
I don't think it's thoracic outlet syndrome.
Another guy too.
I don't think it's thoracic outlet syndrome for Strasbourg, and maybe that was the last straw or whatever. But I just think that he has some autoimmune thing or something where he got carpal tunnel, dude. Like when have you heard of even a major league pitcher? I know Woodruff has Raynaud's syndrome or whatever. But and hadn't heard about that until 3 days ago. But Steven Strasbourg the Welsh now has to move to Texas. We made a bet, 12 starts for this season, or I move back to Arizona, or Welsh moves to Texas. So we're gonna get Texas Welsh pretty soon here, I think. So, I
think I was on the under on that one as well. I mean,
one start, and his ass goes right back to the IL. I mean, he sucks. There's no reason to roster
Well,
him.
I mean, I don't want to say he sucks. I want to say it sucks because,
Nah.
this guy's worked
Everyone else
very
can like
hard to
work
get back there.
through. Yeah, everyone else works through injuries. Why is he the only guy that can't stay healthy ever? He can't.
Well, he's not the only guy. It's just,
Okay, he's the best guy
he's
that can't stay healthy ever.
well, I think
So
that's the problem. It's like I think it's the frustration of the talent and the inability to stay healthy. And I think, and if that's the case, I mean, you're not going to give back the money, but my God, they've got what, 4 years left
it
on
was
this contract, 5 years
idiotic.
left on this contract. It's his insane contract.
2026, and his average annual value is $35 million.
35 million. Yeah.
And they're trying to trade, they're trying to sell this organization. I think, it's at least been rumbled, talked about a little bit. So, and that's why they're like debating on what to do with Soto. Like, do you want to give him $400 million? So when you sell your team, whoever comes in is going to be invested into this guy for the foreseeable future, or do you want to let him go and sell this franchise with no strings attached, so whoever comes in can rebuild it however they want? So it's a big question, and a big part of this sale is going to be, well, you're on the hook for Steven Strasbourg. You're feeding him and his family $35 million a year until 2026 because him and librarians get carpal tunnel syndrome and thoracic outlet syndrome. I'm sick of Steven Strasbourg. I can't do it anymore.
I know. And I understand the pressure too. The organization had a moment a couple years ago. They were at the highest of the highs. You win the World Series. Rendon's a free agent. Strasburg's a free agent. I always say invest in the position player. I would have been wrong because Rendon has been a nightmare too. But you knew both these guys had injury issues. I mean, the smart play would have been pocket all the money. They didn't pocket all the money, unfortunately. If you're gonna
they spent the money and they still suck.
Scherzer.
Yeah,
Scherzer. You should have given Scherzer an extension and put all the money in Juan Soto, because if you did what the Tampa Rays did with Wander Franco with Juan Soto,
yeah,
let me tell you, you would have locked him up for probably $200 million and he'd be there for the next 10 years. And that would have been the play, unfortunately. But that ship has sailed. Another ship that's actually going quite well is Sandy Alcantara. Last 7 starts for Alcantara have been unbelievable. I mean, he has gone at least 7 innings in all of them. He's given up 1 earned in 3 starts with 0 earned runs, 1 with 2 earned runs. He struck out at least 5 guys in all of them. He's got a 0.8 ERA. I've made 2 investments. I told you a couple weeks ago, I didn't like how things are going with the Walker Buehler. I pulled out any money on that, put it all into Sandy Alcantara, and doubled down on Musgrove, where I already had it 10-1 going into, I think I was 20-1 going into the season or something absurd, and then reinvested at 10-1. I think that's like 6.5 now. Alcantara's been incredible. I guess the thing is, Boggs, we all know as great of a competitor as he is, there's a good chance, that ERA is going to correct itself. There's going to be a blow up start here or there. What's his value though in Dynasty? Because it's not a great team. Alcantara is been magnificent this year. He's always been a guy that we've been waiting to emerge as this type of pitcher, and he has finally. In terms of Dynasty, do you have him as a top 5 guy, top 10 guy? Like, where would you rank him? Dynasty?
Yeah, pitcher? I mean, he's got to be up there for sure. Like you said, very young. We don't even know. He's 26. Is this him peaking right now? Because if it is, he's great. I mean, obviously the ERA is under 2, the WHIP is under 1. He's been incredible. He's got 6 wins, for the Marlins right now. So, I just can't wait to see what he gets traded for, because the Marlins never pay anyone ever. And, he's going to get a big, gigantic callback. And where does he go? Where is he going to end up? So, cause he a lot like, Strasbourg, locked up through 2026, but his average annual value 11.2 mil. So much better deal for the Marlins here, of course. But he's got to be up there. Last night he was so furious when they yanked him because the reliever gave it up on 1 pitch, the lead, and then obviously Hoskins walked it off. So it was just funny to see him losing his mind. But
he was mad. He was mad coming out of that game. I saw him hitting water balls and stuff. All right, this day in baseball history in 1933, when I was just a boy, Lou Gehrig's consecutive game streak survived, even though he and his manager got thrown out of the game. So kind of interesting scenario there. I mean, imagine if he had, gotten thrown out of the game. McCarthy got suspended for 3 games. Gehrig did not get a suspension. If he had gotten suspended, it would have stopped at 1249. That's a very interesting little bit of trivia, something I didn't know that came around there. It must have been really someone got, I mean, could you imagine Lou Gehrig seems like the nicest, like all the such a good guy, so like all these things. It must have been a really bad call for Lou Gehrig to get
I
thrown out
bet
of the game.
Angel Hernandez was behind the plate that
Angel.
day. That's probably what it was, since he's been around for so long. He's suing baseball again, by the way. I don't know if you saw that, but it probably Angel Hernandez, the first or whatever, was behind the dish that day, or some type of Angel Hernandez equivalent. So I'm guessing if he got tossed, I'm guessing it's probably balls and strikes, and probably some umpire not even paying attention at all. So
yeah, unbelievable. All right. Let's get to the trivia question for the day. We talked about Byron Buxton earlier in the show, getting me continuously on that home run board, now up to 19. But which two players share the single season record for home runs by a Twins center fielder? Can you name them? Do you think they're the obvious ones? Are they the not so obvious ones? You might be surprised. So if you know the answer, drop it in the chat. I can see the chat. I'm sorry I can't bring up your answers today. We fix it going forward, so don't worry. So which two twin center fielders have the single season record, Boggs? They have the same total. You want to take a guess?
Is Torrey Hunter one of them?
Torrey Hunter is indeed one of them, yes. And Andrew, you are correct. So obvious Torrey Hunter. Perhaps the other one's obvious. Perhaps it's not. We shall see. Let's go to the stat heroes. We'll give some people some time to think about it. Alek Manoah, good once again. 7 Ks for him, 6 scoreless innings. Yu Darvish, we mentioned him at the top of the show, 7 Ks, 1 earned, 8 innings pitched. Justin Steele was pretty good, only struck out 3 guys, but he did go 7 innings with 1 earned run. Aaron Nola on the other side of that game continues to be outstanding for the Phillies, 2 earned runs, 7 innings. So Aaron Nola's finally found some consistency. And hitter-wise, I see Jose Abreu on this list. 2 dingers from Abreu last night. Outstanding.
Guy just needs to play the Tigers every day. If he played the Tigers every day, he'd be the MVP. So,
well, Tony La Russa is next. I'm just telling you that. Paul Goldschmidt 3 for 4 with a dinger. Dylan Carlson 2 for 4 with a homer. Vladdy 3 for 5 with a home run. Lane Thomas had a home run. He was 2 for 4. Dansby Swanson continues to swing a hot bat, 2 for 5 with a homer. Adam Duvall also, I think he's up to 5 homers in the last 10 days or something like that. 1 home run for him. He was 1 for 2. Marcelo Zuna hit a home run. Michael Chavis hit a home run. Michael Chavis was our lineup builder, if memory serves, yesterday. Hope you had him in those lineups. And Brendan Donovan 3 for 4 as well. Stat zeros, Merle. Finally, a bad start for Merle. Merrill Kelly, 5 earned runs, 6 innings. Kyle Bradish gave up 5 in 5, and Zach Thompson did the same.
We knew Merle was gonna get clapped eventually here, and it was Drury was coming up with 2 on, and there was a mound visit right before this, and I have Drury all over the place. So I'm like, but I also have Merrill. Merrill's like my last pick in every league that I did. Merle, my boy Merle. So I was like, come on, just don't. And then as I saw it going over the wall, I was like, yep, there it go. Former Diamondback, Brandon Drury, coming back to hit a 3-run homer against us again. He did it in Cincy too. So I'm sick of the Reds. I've had enough of the Reds.
Before we get to the loser hitters, the correct answer besides Torrey Hunter is Kirby Puckett. Yes, Kirby Puckett. 31 home runs. Good old Kirby with 31 back in the day. Fun player to watch.
Quick story, Joey. I definitely delivered pizza to Kirby Puckett like 3 days before he passed. He was living in Scottsdale.
Gosh. Yeah, I hope that wasn't the reason why it happened. I hope it was the pizza wasn't bad.
Deep dish meatloaf.
Now all of a sudden you're a suspect. Like
I'm a suspect. What was the line in The Office? I made him eat fats and sugars for 50 years and not exercise. It's my fault. Yeah.
Oh, Kirby. Kirby was, when I was a kid, man, I loved Kirby Puckett. He was just one of those fun to watch guys.
Just like my first real deep memory of a huge moment was Kirby Puckett hitting that walk-off in the World Series. That
was a great one.
Unbelievable, dude. I love
great
Kirby
one
Puckett.
for sure. All right, some of the loser hitters. Jesus Aguilar 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. Spencer Torkelson 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. Things have not gone well. CBS roster percentage is 61, Yahoo at 30, ESPN at 50. Slashing 181, 281, 292 through 55 games. Is this the time to buy Torkelson? Is this the time to drop Torkelson? What do you do with Torkelson? Because Torkelson ain't doing nothing.
I mean, I think you got to drop him. Maybe he could come back. It seems like they're just letting him work through this. Otherwise, he would have been sent down earlier. But how much longer can you let this go? before you send him down
Right.
to work it out. Like, I just feel like it's going to come up pretty quick here. So, yeah, I think you at least have to bench him. Maybe you really don't want to let him go because, like we said, it seems to be that they're letting him work through this, but I don't
Well, but
know,
look at the
man.
Twins. I mean, they sent Kirilloff down. He's raking right now. I mean, Kirilloff is absolutely
Yeah,
crushing life. I mean, why not just send Torkelson down for 2 weeks? I mean, it's a perfect time to do it.
he hit
Like just do it
190
now.
in April. He hit 219 last month. In this month, 086.
Oh, just
He's
come on.
3 for 35 this month with
Yeah.
a double and 2 singles. Like, he's doing nothing for you. Send him down,
No
let him
bueno.
work it out, and then bring him back up. There's plenty of
Mhm.
time. I don't
Yeah,
understand it.
plenty of time.
This is I mean, the Tigers are god awful right now. They're like last in the league in runs by a wide margin. So you got to do something. You can't I mean, I know you don't want Miggy playing every day. I get that because he's 100, but put in anybody else.
You
Come
could
on.
pull up somebody else from the AAA squad to,
Yeah,
play a little first base. It's not a hard
anybody.
thing. But
Right.
I think they should send him down. And when the minute they send him down, that's when you attack. Just
For
completely
sure.
attack all the
Yeah.
Torkelson shares across the board because he's going to be a good player. I mean, this is just the normal things. Like, it's funny. Everybody's got, I think, a little bit of that Jared Kelenic itis where when a player struggles now, everyone's like, oh no, he's never going to be good. It's going to be fine. Bobby Witt's turned things around. Julio had a terrible April. He turned things around. You got to give these guys time. Kirilloff is going to come back and rake, I'm sure. So you just got to relax with these things. You can't overdo it. Also
Relax.
relaxing is me at the bottom of the home run board here at 19, tied with my good friends Oxbury Buck. All I do is win. Adele Gadillo, James, and Larry C's at 20. Hi Cubby 2016 is at 21. Night King of the North at 21, and then Title Chaser and DeBlum still at the very top of this board with 23 home runs. So there
Not a
you
lot of
have it. There's the
changes
home
to
run.
the board, because I pop in once a week and see the board. You and Oxbury are the guys I think I haven't seen. Everybody else has been cruising right along there. So
Me and the
excellent
Ox
work.
are on a run. We're on a
That's
run.
right.
And I hope you're betting these home run props too, because look, if somebody, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's me, if it's Bogman, even if it's Mayor, I don't even care. Or one of the randos who's hot, put money in them. Go ride the wave. Go bet a home run prop. Have some fun with that. And when you do, make sure you do it over at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. That's right. BetMGM right now. Bet $10, win 200 at the king of sportsbooks. All you got to do is download the BetMGM app or go to betmgm.com. Put in that promo code leading off. One word, leading off. BetMGM, $10 to win 200. Today, some of the props that I saw on Betting Pros that I liked. Mike Trout, 1.5. The juice is 105 for total bases. Vladdy, same deal, 105 for the 1.5 over on DK. And then Shane Bieber is only at 6.5 Ks against Colorado. I know it's against Colorado, so I guess that's why you get a lower number. But at plus 120 on the over, I would take the over on that. So, Boggs, that's where I'm looking.
I like Dane Dunning strikeout total. It's 3.5.
Well, what's Dane Dunning's?
It's 3.5.
Wow.
And the last time that the last start out, he only had one. But every start since April 20th, before that, he's had at least 5. So I'm easily going with Dunning today. So
I am fading Garrett Cole, who has a 1-6 record and a 4.21 ERA against the Rays for his career. He's expensive on a night where you have so many options. I'm fading him across the board. Just fade away. Dylan Cease on DK is cheap at 8.8. Nick Pivetta, who's been streaking at 8.9, might be even better. Him and Miles Mikolas at 8.4, 8.9. That might be your best return on investment in tournaments tonight. You can pretty much go get whatever you want. And if you want to go down a little bit further, Tyler Molly's been really good too at 7.5. You can cheap out on pitching. In cash tonight, it's hard not to like Gonsolin at 9.5. He's going to be fine. But Joe Ryan, I'm telling you, at 8.7 should be in play in tournaments tonight because I don't think he's going to be that limited. And I think the roster percentage is going to be low. So if the Twinkies play well. So you've got, Bieber in Colorado, which is not something great. I like Pivetta. I like Mikolas. I like Gonsolin. I like Joe Ryan. That's where I'm looking now. On the single pitcher site tonight over on FanDuel, same thing. You can go with Dylan Cease at 9.6, Pivetta at 9.3. That's fine. Tyler Molly's just 8.6, Gonsolin's 9.5, and Joe Ryan in tournaments 9.3. I would do the multi-entry, have one Joe Ryan lineup, have one Gonsolin, and then maybe pivot off to somebody else like Pavetta, who might be a little bit lower roster because they're all in that same 9.5-ish price range. So it's real easy to just make your lineup and then just give yourself a little $200, $300 cushion, and then you can just mix in and out the pitchers. No big deal. So BVP, let's get to the BVP numbers, and then we'll talk game stacks, Boggs. What you got?
Well, look, Joey Votto against the silent assassin, Zach Davies. You like that nickname, by the way?
I
The
do.
silent assassin for Zach Davies.
Why is he the silent assassin?
Because he ghosted his wife. Did you not see all that? Did you not see that story?
I don't follow Zach Davies' personal interests on social media.
Come on,
he
Joey.
ghosted his own wife.
He ghosted his wife.
Ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
Okay.
Now he didn't talk to her at all. Just took his stuff and left his dogs, left her, like everything there. So, silent assassin because he is a jerk face. 13 for 35 for Joey Votto against him with 2 bombs, 2 doubles. So pretty good track record there. Freddie Freeman is 10 for 23 with a homer, a triple, and 3 doubles against Noah Syndergaard. Harold Castro, 10 for 23 with a bomb and 2 doubles against Dylan Cease. Yandy Diaz against Garrett Cole, who you are fading, 10 for 33 with a bomb and a double. Jesus Aguilar, 7 for 15 against Zach Eflin. Brian Reynolds, 7 for 20 against Miles Michaelis. So that looks like about where we're at for the PVB.
I see a lot of people in the chat asking me too, what about Manaea against the Cubs? Because they keep losing every game. It's not that I don't like Sean Manaea. I do. I just think it's going to be super chalky. And I always hate investing in something where a team's lost like 5 in a row, 6 in a row, 10 in a row. Like, you just know it's going to be, that's the one you invest in and it's going to be wrong because just baseball is eventually going to turn the other way. So I'm a little about it. I would stay away from it, but there's certainly every reason to invest in it tonight. It makes sense. There's no doubt about that. Stacks for tonight, I like the Cardinals, the Astros, the Boston Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. Try to get those guys in your lineup. Also, guys are cheap. Like Dylan Carlson's cheap right now. He's swinging a good bat. Go for it. I'm going to go tonight for my home run call with Matt Olson of the Braves. Let's go, Matty-O. I called him. I got him out of his cold streak a couple weeks ago, so he owes me one here. That's how I figure it. So Matt Olson tonight against Gray. I think that's a good look. He's given up 14 home runs on the year. That's where I'm going. How about you, Boggs? Where are you going to go with a home run call tonight?
I go with my guy Rhys Hoskins, and I saw, I went and I looked and I picked Hoskins, and I saw Mayer has him also, and I went, you know what, we're going to be Eskimo Bros today, so we're both going to have Hoskins. So let's go Hoskins.
I can't bring this up on the screen, but there is a question here specifically for you, Scott Bogman. Who do you hate more, Zach Davies or Mark Melancon? I guess.
Definitely Mark Melancon. I mean, Zach Davies didn't ghost me or the team. Mark Melancon pitching is terrible. So definitely Mark Melancon, 100%.
This is true. All right. So I saw the Team Rando people who had the Team Rando hashtag in their name today after yesterday's show, and I appreciate you. It's hilarious. I love you guys. Seriously, that is just awesome. So I hope it's there tomorrow so we can see them all on the screen again. I don't know what happened, but that's okay. We'll fix the problem for tomorrow. Thanks for joining us and hanging out. Go get your steaks over at Omaha Steaks. Use that leading off code in the search bar to do it. Don't forget. Treat yourself too for Father's Day. My goodness.
Treat yourself.
It saves you a trip to the store. You just order the meat and it comes to your house. What's better than that? I mean, if somebody could cook it for you, maybe, but I like the grilling process. Actually, I have my daughter hanging out, my youngest, last on Memorial Day weekend where we were grilling the bacon wrap fillets actually, and a few other choice items on the grill. Just hanging out there. Me and her. She wanted to go outside with me while I was grilling. Everybody else stayed outside. It's a beautiful moment. Omaha Steaks, making beautiful moments since, I don't know, however long they've been around. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you later, kids and randos.